Representative Johnson, he says you're running into the fight. You know that Republicans in the state, Republicans out of the state, look at what you guys are doing and thinking you're running away from the fight. You're running away from your jobs by not being in Austin today.
Yeah, no. Abandoning your job is going to Cancun in the middle of a deadly freeze, right? Abandoning your job is cutting health care when people need access. Abandoning your job is cutting public education when we already have one of the worst education systems in the nation. What we are doing is the fundamental protection by our founding fathers in the Texas Constitution that says the minority party has the opportunity to break quorum when you know that the majority has really gone off the rails. The fact that Texas Republicans are willing to sell their soul, sell out their state, and sell out the American people to serve the interest of Donald Trump and give him 5 seats at a time where we know he is afraid of voters voting on his policies next November in 2026. When Donald Trump called Georgia Republicans and said, I just need you to find me 11,000 votes, they said, no, sir, that's a step too far. But when he called Texas Republicans and said, I need you to steal me 5 seats, they said, does July work for you? Well, it doesn't work for us as Texas Democrats. This is not just about our voters. It's about the nation. And it's important for people to know they have threatened us personally. They have threatened our arrest. They have threatened our jobs. They have threatened us. The solution is if we show up today at 3 o'clock and sit and be quiet, then we get to keep ours. But it kills the voice of everybody in this country. And so we won't sit and shut up to have them shut up the voices of voters.
Y'all have done this before, and ultimately after a few weeks it ends, everyone goes back to Austin, and Republicans ultimately get what they want. How is this time going to be any different?
I actually disagree with that. In 2021, my colleagues here and I broke quorum to stop a voter suppression bill. And by breaking quorum and shining a spotlight, a national spotlight, on that voter suppression effort, it pressured the Republicans in Texas to take out the worst parts of that bill. The ban on souls to the polls, Sunday morning voting, which African-American churches use in Texas to get their people to the polls. A provision that would have allowed Republicans to overturn election results that they didn't like. All of that was taken out because we broke quorum. So this is an effective tool in our toolbox to fight for our constituents and make harmful legislation less dangerous. We're hopeful that's what will happen here.
So then is the end goal, if not to completely redraw the map, to redraw it in a less Republican way?
I think our goal is to pressure blue states who have a Democratic trifecta to threaten retaliation and maybe even move forward with that retaliation, because if one side is going to cheat, all bets are off. And maybe that kind of pressure will convince our Republican colleagues and the president to walk back from the brink, because none of us want gerrymandered states. Gerrymandering is wrong whether Democrats do it or Republicans do it. Every state should have an independent, citizen-led redistricting commission so that voters are choosing their politicians, politicians aren't choosing their voters.
But not until the other side does it first.
Well, we can't unilaterally disarm.
Yeah, and that's what they're asking us to do, which is we get to do it, but you don't.
Right.
And so we're not afraid. We've all been engaged in trying to promote this legislation. We're not afraid of letting the voters pick our lines, and we run fairly. The Republicans don't want to do that. And that's what people need to know. This is not normal. It is not normal that midway through the decade, we have a constitutional amendment that says you can redistrict once every 10 years. It is not normal for them to say, hey, we're only 5 years in, but we're nervous about what might happen next November. Texas, you redraw the lines. They're not only changing the game, they're trying to put us on a different field. And so if Republicans want to go there, how do you not expect Democrats to stand back up? This is about the voice of the voters.
You know, Greg Abbott is the only person that can call a special session. Our chairman said yesterday we have effectively killed the rest of this special session. We're ready to go work with him on helping the Central Texans that were affected by the flood. He needs to get his priorities straight. He needs to take care of the people of Texas, and we'll all get to work. And we're welcoming him back to the table to have those conversations.
So let's say he calls you tomorrow and says, okay, come back and we'll do the flooding first.
Too late. I'm on the committee that's been hearing it. We've been doing hearings for 2 weeks. We've been there for 2 weeks. We have agenda items for 2 weeks. They have put one bill before us for a hearing. One bill, only redistricting. We've had time. We've had the opportunity. They have proven this is not about anything else. It's about them serving the interest of Trump and only Trump.
Yeah, let's be honest about what this is. Donald Trump is scared. His policies aren't going to win the day. He knows it, so he's colluding with Greg Abbott to steal the 2026 midterm elections. That's what's at stake here. If Governor Abbott wanted to help the flood victims, he could be using executive power today. He's using us as tools to try to get to his work to help Donald Trump.
And it's even worse than misplaced priorities. He's using flood victims and their families as leverage to do Donald Trump's bidding and rig the next election. I mean, this is rock bottom. It's disgusting, it's immoral, and we should all reject it regardless of our political party.
Now, you all agree then that Democrats in other states, if they can, should try to do something similar and redraw their maps?
No, what we want is for Greg Abbott to come to a census, put the people of Texas first, and get back to the work for the people of Texas and the flood victims. Let's stop this charade to try to steal the 2026 midterms. Let's have everybody put down their weapons, and let's go home and work for the people of Texas.
Given